Thank you to all of you that reached out over the past couple of days and weeks, and I have not seen my post. I have not been okay, but I think I'm a little bit okay right now. So it's why I'm actually making this video. And I actually wanted to rest beyond this week and probably resume back next week, but I saw a very crazy news. And I was like, wow. In my usual characteristics, just to bring it out for people that consume the kind of contents I put out here, and also bring in an angle that probably people will not see it from. And the news goes like this. Breaking. Nigeria's ginger export went from 26 billion to zero in the last 3 years. Source Business Day Nigeria. For those that don't understand, for those that would feel like everything is just going spirally down ever since this government came to power, I want to put in context to this particular part that we went from exporting ginger, which is that it is known that Nigeria have one of the best gingers in the world. If you're in Western world, our ginger was once one of the most sought after gingers because it is highly dense, it is natural, it is organic, it has no GMOs in it. And in the space of 3 years right now, when we're doing export turnovers over 26 billion yearly, we did zero as of last year. And while this news was going on, I stumbled on a tweet that I want to read because this tweet actually adds more context to what probably happened or why it happened. A young man, Slim, by the handle on X Slim, said, "Let me tell you how it happened. Nigeria's ginger export hit zero from 26 billion within 3 years. The official story blames fungal blight, but here's what actually happened. When Nigerian farmers lost their indigenous seed supply, grant-aided interventions arrived with replacement seeds. An associate professor at Lagos Business School flagged publicly that some of those interventions involved GMO organisms that weakened indigenous crops and compromised soil health. This is not a conspiracy theory because it is a documented academic concern. Now that Nigeria's poke got destroyed by the GMO seedlings, what is not the result? Nigeria was forced to import ginger from China to fill domestic demands. Chinese ginger has none of the potency, oleoresin content, or quality that made Nigerian ginger a global premium product. And the ginger now sitting in Nigerian markets tastes like wood because it is essentially wood. The two indigenous varieties that built Nigeria's global ginger reputation, the Tafingiwa and Yatumbiri, had decades of soil relationship and quality built into them. Once the soil was degraded and those seed varieties were displaced, the product that returned was a pale imitation. Nigeria did not just lose a market, it lost a seed. And without a national ginger seed bank, which nobody has built, it may never fully get it back again. And in the midst of this, many people when I saw this tweet, I know I've followed the GMO conversations for the past couple of years right now. I've hosted top bioscientists on my platforms, and we have had this conversation. I've championed it. If you are on X, you'd have come to some of the rooms that were championed when the Bill Gates funded GMO maize seeds were being brought into the country. We actually championed and led protests against it up to the National Assembly. People like P. Shegs and some of the people that are in charge of biotech in Abuja, I hosted them on my platform. We spoke extensively about the dangers of GMOs, the dangers of having GMO seeds actually even in our soil, because when they're in your soil, they don't just corrupt your soil, they degrade the soil texture, whereby if you plant other seeds on that soil, they will not even grow. That's how bad it is. So when we discussed it then, it was actually one of the reasons why I had serious issues with so-called health influencers like Aproko Doctor and so that were influencing for GMO products with Bill Gates. It was a turn off for me because these people were actually selling Nigerians a dependency product that we can never survive from. It's simple for those that don't understand what I'm trying to say right now is that a GMO product a GMO seedling is a seed whereby you have to renew it like subscription every year. So if your farm produce that comes out of your farm for this year is done, you cannot use that seed from your produce and plant for the next farming season. You have to go and buy again from these business people. So they turn agriculture automatically to a business model that is benefiting this same set of people. The tellers, the buyers, there are some set of people that control that market, all headed by Bill Gates. And it's exactly what they have come to do. And people that did not understand what's happening in Southern Kaduna, the incessant killing. You see, when you tie what is happening in Nigeria, it's a giant web of conspiracy from the insecurity to the illegal mining to the abduction of farmers to all of them are interwoven. Our country is a hotbed of corruption. And this ginger case right now, because the predominant farmers of this ginger in Nigeria are actually Southern Kaduna people. And as it stands right now, these people could not export. I read somewhere, I'm not certain of how many farmers that actually even committed suicide. Ginger farmers in Nigeria as of last year. Because their produce, their product, what they are known for, the premium ginger, they cannot produce anymore. And in a country whereby we don't have a food bank, it's a recipe for disaster. So we can go on. I'm trying not to politicize this right now. I'm trying to make sure I just understand the true effects of what is happening. And in a country whereby we have already made, Bill Gates already had national honors. Tinubu gave him national honors. You see our favorite influencers, our artists, all influencing for Bill Gates. That man has or stand nothing good for them. You will not hear them come out and tell you that he's not the one sponsoring polio, he's not the one sponsoring this vaccine and the rest for the country. Without him, Nigeria will not. Do you expect someone that wants to monopolize an industry that comes into your country not to offer you some good services? Definitely he's going to offer you something for something bigger in return. One of the greatest fallacies you ever see is that philanthropists are doing things freely because they don't want anything back. And that's the case of the ginger farm in the country.